Einstein did not sit down with answers. He sat down with one question, and he refused to let go of it for decades. The question was the input. The insight was just what happened when he stayed long enough. When you hold a question, genuinely hold it. Carry it with you. Let it run in the background. Something starts to happen. Everything becomes filtered through it. A conversation, a random observation, something you read, a problem at work. It runs through the question, and occasionally something clicks. Not because you forced it, because you held the question open long enough that reality could answer it. The question creates the aperture. And what you see is determined by the size and shape of the hole you're looking through. This is where it gets uncomfortable, because questions work whether they're good or bad. Why does this always happen to me? That's a question. And life answers it constantly, viciously, because you're holding it open and your brain finds evidence for it everywhere. Why am I so bad at this? Same mechanism. Brain finds evidence, evidence compounds, story gets heavier. You're not being negative, you're running the input mechanism on the wrong question. What am I not seeing? Now that's a completely different answer. Excuse me, that's a completely different question. And completely different answers start appearing. What's the connection between these two things? And suddenly everything is a potential data point. What would this look like if it were working? The brain starts scanning for that instead. The external world doesn't change. The aperture changes. And what you see through it changes everything. I've noticed that the most transformative periods of my life weren't when I found answers. They were when I found better questions. The question, how do I get more results, kept me focused on outputs, stuck, frustrated. The question, what inputs produce results over time, completely different life. The question, why do I keep hitting this ceiling, kept me in the problem. The question, what illusion is producing this ceiling, started dissolving it. Same situation, different question, different life. Einstein carried one question for decades, and it changed the understanding of the universe. You are carrying questions right now, whether you know it or not. The question running in the background of your life is producing your life. Not your effort, not your talent, not your circumstances. The question. So it's worth asking, what question are you actually holding? Not the one you think you should be asking. The one that won't leave you alone. Because life has a way of answering whatever you hold open long enough. The only variable is whether the question is worth answering.